The girls and I are about to get ready and go out for dinner, but I wanted to follow up on the whole marriage topic and my comments on paperwork because I think it's kind of important to qualify those comments. When I got divorced, I realized the person that you marry is not the same person that divorces you. All of the things that you know about someone, the kindness, the expectations that you have out of that person go out the window in a divorce. And I'm sure some of you can relate or know people that have been through that or whatever. My divorce was really hard on me financially, like super hard. Long story short, it was very financially painful, we'll just say. The year after that, I actually did cohabitate. And so I do have a little experience behind my opinions. I had gotten engaged to a guy the following year, super nice guy, but I was in really bad shape. Let me just say that I had fallen apart after my divorce, and so it was a really rough year. And that happened to be the exact same year that my son got incredibly ill. Grand mal seizures and lots of other things. We were in the neurologist office, we were at the doctor's office, we were at the pharmacy, we were in the lab. It was really hard. At the point that I moved in with my boyfriend, I hadn't slept a full night, more than a couple of hours at a time for probably a good 6 weeks. So I was out of my mind. My life was spiraling out of control. I was really having a hard time dealing with everything, and he swooped in and saved the day. He did that by basically hiring movers to come and get rid of everything I owned and taking what few personal possessions we had to his place and just was going to take care of me. I was just not in a position to argue the point, to be totally honest with you. And so I let it happen because he said, if things don't work out, I don't want you to worry about how you're going to start over. So he showed me a $5,000 platinum credit card that was in my name. That should have been a big red flag right there that he had already gotten a credit card in my name without my knowledge or permission or anything like that. He said, this is your get out of jail free card. So if at any point you're not happy with this or you decide that you want out, then you can take this card and put your life back together and set yourself back up. I thought, okay, what's the risk factor here? The risk is very low and I'm falling apart, so we'll go with this. Not my best moment. It didn't work out. And when it didn't work out, for various reasons I won't get into, the card was nowhere to be found when I walked out the door. I started over with $7 in my pocket, 2 children, and an eighth of a tank of gas. I don't think that those situations made me cynical. I personally think that those situations made me smart. That's the reasoning behind my feelings on paperwork and why I think paperwork is required in a relationship. I think that if you're going to go to the point that you're going to live with someone or you're going to get to the point of marrying someone and then of course living with them, because that I've discovered is part of being married. But if you're going to do either of those things, it's important for both parties to protect their assets and to know what the expectations are and for it to be legalized on paper. That's just my personal opinion. I realize not everybody feels that way, but there are an awful lot of people out there paying for things they shouldn't be paying for or stuck in financial situations that were born out of heartache and other things that could have been avoided. I think prenuptial agreements are great. They're practical. I think that they're very smart. You never know what's going to happen. And while a lot of people think that it's a total trust issue, there's also the fact that you could get married and a week later your husband could be eaten by a shark or your wife could get hit by a Mack truck. I think it's important to be prepared and it's important to be smart about what your expectations are, how you want to take care of each other in the event that something changes, whether that something be emotional or whether it be, catastrophic. I think that it's a matter of loving each other enough to take care of each other on paper. Speaking of marriage, Dwayne and I actually discussed that this last year. I'll tell you more about that in the next video. And actually, I think I promised to tell you how we met, so I'll tell you about that next, and then I'll get to that next topic. So stay tuned, lots more good stuff coming.